Hello and welcome back to The Other Side. My name is Ember Hobie. Each week I focus on a different step of recovery, and this week I'm focusing on step 5, which is confession. Okay, some relatable notes from this week's reading is a common characteristic of many who have suffered from addiction is a sense of isolation. I definitely felt isolation in our marriage and our situation. Most people doing the 12 steps are not in a healthy spiritual place. I was in a pretty good spiritual space, but my feelings of isolation still existed. I was so confused about our marriage because we seemed to be doing everything right, but yet I feared people knowing the truth about us. I didn't even know what the truth was. I just felt like our temple marriage was not making me happy. It was not bringing joy. And I wondered, why did my temple ceiling feel like it was too long? Like I wasn't being married for eternity. That wasn't giving me the warm and fuzzies. And so there was a lot in our marriage that needed confessing. So in the traditional sense of confession, maybe what the 12 steps would be, literally confession to a bishop or a priesthood leader about your addiction or your sins. Like, our marriage needed a confession. I needed to stop suppressing my resentments and suppressing the conflict, and I needed to bring it to light. And that was as scary as going to a bishop, because I did not want to face the realities and the repercussions of bringing up a lot of things to Sam. So today's topic of confession will have a little bit of a twist of an Ember and Sam marriage. I am here at the cemetery. This is where I like to go to think and to feel close to Sam. And today is a Wednesday, and it's really busy here. I'm looking at three separate funerals right now. So the cemetery is full of a lot of people, and Sam's funeral took place right out my window here a year ago Saturday. So I have hit our year mark of him being gone, but we didn't have the funeral until the weekend, the next weekend, which would be this weekend. So I am having some tender emotions here as I'm watching families pull up and people carrying caskets to the plot. Like, oh, rough. It's a rough day. And I guess it can kind of tie into my topic today because, like I mentioned last week, these tears could be very different. My tears could be very different had confession not taken place. The importance of cleaning the slate and, starting over, starting anew, in relationships or in your life with addiction. Like, it's a game changer. It needs to take place. My windows are down and there's a lot of traffic, so I'll probably have to pause. Similar to people in addictions, I felt the need to hide my issues, hide our issues as a married couple. That's just in us. It's that hiding that we think is the solution when it's not. Exposing and confessing is the real answer to getting to the bottom and healing. I don't know that anything I have to say today, a lot of our confessions, of course, is our private, confidential issues. I've given so much. I don't know if I have anything new. And the reality is I'm kind of in a funk right now. just, I guess I'm in a good funk. We needed to confess. We needed to address our issues. And if we hadn't, his death would be so difficult. This would be a very different situation. And I can't help but wonder what these people are going through. You know, when you face losing a loved one, you know, where are you in your relationship? I am so glad that Sam and I were right. And I also recognize that Sam and I were right, where we had completed the cycle of repenting, repairing, and forgiving, and then, you know, getting to a good place, and then it just repeated itself again. I'm not saying our marriage was perfect, but we got very close to having a perfect marriage, and I define the perfect marriage as one that's just going to keep going through that cycle of needing repair. So we were getting pretty good at doing the repair work. When before, in marriage 1.0, we called it, there was no repair. It was a fractured marriage for years. And once we got to a good spot, you know, we rode on that coattail for a while, and then we came around and we had issues and needed to do do-overs, and we needed to do repair, and then we got on top of it again and things were good, and then we were on a downer. And like, that's life. Like, that's a healthy perspective of a marriage. I mean, a perfect marriage does not exist. A marriage that needs constant repair work is pretty darn close to a perfect marriage. And it just is a refining moment for both of us. Like, we just worked on each other, constantly pushing each other's buttons, and constantly needing to forgive and heal. And that's the cycle of life. That is the cycle of life. And I hope that when people end up here in a cemetery, they have experienced that kind of cycle, which includes a confession, and it includes forgiveness. Emotion that comes with confession is fear. Fear is real. Fear and confession is real. Isolation and fear. But I experienced, after confessing, I realized the fears that I had that were keeping me from ever making amends with Sam, they were bigger in my head than reality. And getting them out helped me to see that it wasn't as bad. In most cases, it wasn't as bad. But what I needed was a professional to help me work through that, to give me the courage. So because I had no desire to try to duke it out alone with Sam. He was just too aggressive in his communication and intense, and it was intimidating to me. And, you know, I just wanted to run from him and our problems. And I needed somebody to steady me. I needed somebody to sit with both of us. So we found that in a counselor. And then we also continued to kind of have little mini therapy sessions at our 12-step meetings every week. So the more we practiced at communicating, the better we got at it. And we stopped using our defensive mechanisms. You know, it became productive. We were able to, I became a stronger communicator. I just needed to work at it a little bit. So work on it. So the graveyard has just cleared out. The last guest has left. And now I'm watching the backhoes come out, filled with dirt. Like, this is it. This is it. What you leave. I sure hope everybody who just left this graveyard had a clean slate with the person who just passed. You know, I mean, this is a very unique perspective that I have, having experienced losing my husband, burying him, and driving away from the cemetery. That sucks. That sucks, because life goes on. You leave the cemetery and that relationship is dead. You leave the cemetery and life goes on. That was hard. That was hard to feel cruel. It felt cruel that the world will just keep going, but it's the truth. And now here comes the backhoe, filled with dirt. I didn't stick around to watch the backhoes come out. They're gonna wait till the family leaves, of course. And I come back almost weekly to sit with Sam because he is my forever. But if we hadn't done the confession step, I don't even know if I would have come to his funeral. Like, that's the trajectory we were on. We were headed, and I'm ready to erase you from my life when I'm doing the exact opposite now. And what was the difference? What's the difference between death and eternal life? The biggest difference was confession. Feeling isolated, feeling fear, those are real feelings, but they can be replaced with feelings that heal and feelings that last forever. I'm glad that I returned to Sam's grave with feelings of love. Don't take your secrets to the grave. Don't take anything to the grave. Wow, I am literally watching them bury. Oof. I am literally watching them put the cap on the grave. So they put caskets inside of a cement casing. So the casket's not literally in the ground, it's in another cement kind of casing. And I'm watching them seal a casket up and then a backhoe nearby with dirt. That's the cycle of life. Like, I've never witnessed this part before. I hope everybody that just left the cemetery had a good relationship with the person who died. My heart goes out to the close ones. I just finished a year, my first year without Sam. I dream about him a lot. I dream about him almost every night. Now, I don't think I even dreamed the first few months, but just since the last few months, probably since January, I swear he's in my dream every night. Some weird way. And a lot of the dreams is he just shows up and he's alive and he's like acting normal. Last night's dream was he showed up after being dead for a year. He showed up, but he went to Costco first and he came home with like tons of food from Costco and tons of pineapple. And we don't eat pineapple. I'm like, why did you buy this? I was so confused because he was just coming and trying to fix everything. He just showed up with a whole bunch of groceries. And I was like, no, I have a budget. It's hard to share all aspects of life with somebody, huh? He was messing up my budget. I was worried about all that food. I was seriously looking at the food saying, I'm taking all of this back. We can't afford all of this food. We're not going to be able to eat all of this food. And why do you just show up without any explanation? It was so weird. And in my dreams, I even tell myself, in my dreams, this is a dream. This isn't real. He didn't come back to life. Man, the business of dying. So interesting. It is kind of weird to know that I have a spot right there. This is my resting place. This is where I come to feel Sam. It's not worth it. Holding grudges, playing the silent treatment games, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Jump in and fix your problems. Even if it's just your side. That's all you can work on right now is your side of the problems. Don't have regrets. Don't bury your feelings or your resentments or your marriage. Don't bury it. Don't drive away from a cemetery with unresolved issues. Let the cemetery be the place where you come back. You come back to relive the good experiences. I come here just because it's the quiet place where I can be without disruption. I come here and sit in the car. I come here and sit out at his grave. I'm not out at his grave because the wind will ruin the audio. My marriage didn't end at a cemetery. This is our resting place, like literally our resting place. We are resting our marriage is taking a time out. And that doesn't mean that we stop being husband and wife, but we are getting a rest from each other. And quite frankly, I think we need it. Like, our marriage was hard. Our marriage was work. And not always the good work, not the productive work. But the cemetery, this is not the end. This is, I mean, it's weird that, I mean, what happens now? It's just like we're put on pause, put on hold. A timeout. A rest from each other. Like, we really duked it out. He exhausted me. Can't imagine I exhausted him. So coming here to the cemetery, it's my resting place. And it's Sam's resting place. I like to come and sit here and feel him with hopeful, I don't know, this isn't the end. I don't feel like, the cemetery for me is not the end. This is not a sad place. This is just a quiet place. A quiet place. Our holding pattern, because we will resume again. We will pick up and be reunited again. And we will both be better versions of ourselves. Because our repair work is done. We did that while in the flesh. And now, I mean, it's not rest in the full sense of the word. Living without Sam is not peaceful, is not giving me rest. I'm working harder, and life is more difficult in a whole lot of other ways. But this absence, this separation is just a timeout. I really don't feel like it's going to be forever. Well, literally, I know it's not going to be forever, but it's okay. It's okay. What God seals, He heals. We're healing. Still learning, still growing. If your spouse were to die, what would your experience be at the cemetery? I can tell you that your stupid little fights and your stupid little games or whatever, they're stupid. They're stupid. They mean nothing when you're picking a plot to bury your loved one or making arrangements to have them cremated. It means nothing. Stupid fights. Your heart will just forgive those things. Like, it's just stupid. So don't let them ruin your day. Don't waste another day. I know it's so cliche, but I am literally sitting here in a cemetery next to my husband, having watched 2-3 funerals just right before me. Like, life is short. Don't play stupid games with your partner. Forgive, forget, get it over with quickly. Confess, do what you need to do. Do the 12 steps, do your part to be the best version of you. You be the best version of you. It's the best gift you can give to your partner, regardless of what they do. You're only in charge of you and your resentments and your choices. So you can fix you. And when you fix you, it can propel your partner to do the same. Like, Sam and I, we just worked it together. And God will heal you. So, words of wisdom, words of wisdom from a widow in a cemetery today. Blah, what a gloomy day. Sorry, but someone's got to say it, right? You know, what do you want to be remembered by? I remember in my waking hours all the great parts of our marriage. My subconscious is still playing tricks with me, and I have a lot of my dreams are Sam coming alive, and it's Sam 1.0. So it's kind of like I have to do the dreaded work all over again. And I'm conflicted with my feelings that he's suddenly alive again, and I'm like, wait, no, but it's like that messes with me. I hope those will pass. I have those frequently. But every once in a while I have awesome dreams. I have awesome good dreams of Sam. And my reality, my memories, I feel him. I feel the good parts. So, what do you want to be remembered by? Feelings buried alive never die. 3 people were just buried. I hope they didn't bury things that needed to be taken care of. And I hope the same for you. All right, that's enough for the doom and gloom for today. And next week is step 6, which is a change of heart. And it is my favorite one, change of heart. So see you next time.